pride, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Thursday, March 27th, 2025. Welcome back to the program, folks. Wow. Just can't get any rest. It never stops. It never stops. The stuff coming out of South Africa, the stuff coming out of Washington, the world just keeps spinning and politicians just keep pulling our leg. It's crazy, folks. Welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you back with me again today for the racial scumbags and hate wankers out there who steal the content and then lie about who I am. Hey, at some point I'm going to be tired of it, and we're going to have to talk to some courts about this. Knock your nonsense off. It just shows you how desperate you are to portray people falsely, and it doesn't work. People see who you really are and see who I am. Welcome back to all the Neanderthals, all the canines, all the right-wing podcasters. So special treat for coming on Saturday. I'm going to recommend on Saturday that you watch Morning Shot, okay? Watch Morning Shot on Saturday. Something special is going to be on that program Saturday. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that. All right? I'll leave it at that. So check out Morning Shot on Saturday. I don't usually send people to Morning Shot, This channel's twice my size, but I'm going to send you over to Morning Shot on Saturday. All right? Okay, so let's get to the news. Big news in Cape Town today, where an ANC leader has abandoned his party to join the Democratic Alliance, and not surprisingly, the ANC is not happy about it. Cape Town politics shift as an effort to oust someone leads to someone from the party leaving. Wow. Cape Town politics. ANC's Banele Majingo joins the Democratic Alliance, foiling a no-confidence motion. Wow. ANC Cape Town caucus leader Banele Majingo has joined the DA. He's been in the council since 2014. This is huge news. Announcement came in a chaotic council meeting on Thursday, minutes before he was due to table a motion of no confidence in the DA speaker, Felicity Purchase. The DA staved off that no confidence vote by poaching the caucus leader, not just a member of the ANC, but their caucus leader. This is huge. I mean, look, this is not pro-DA, not anti-ANC.
Well,
but politically, this is huge, folks. This is absolutely huge what's happened here. It's a shocker, to say the least. Let's go ahead and listen into the mayor of Cape Town, Jordan Hill Lewis, who announced this about four hours ago now, but we weren't live at the time. So this is what Jordan Hill Lewis had to say about this.
Well, something extraordinary has just happened in Cape Town. It's caused a little bit of pandemonium behind me, but the leader of the opposition in Cape Town, the leader of the ANC in Cape Town, Councillor Banele Majingo, has just resigned his seat and has joined the DA. An extraordinary moment. I think it's historic. I'm not sure that this has ever happened before. And I think his note, his resignation letter is very, very powerful, and I want to read it. He says, "After careful consideration, I've come to realize that my personal values and principles are now more aligned with those of the Democratic Alliance. I'm committed to their pursuit of clean governance and economic growth, and here, this is the kicker, I'm increasingly impressed with their commitment to deliver for poor residents and the unemployed. I want to say thank you to Councillor Majingo for those words and for that integrity. And I want to speak directly to all of the current ANC councillors, members, and indeed, most importantly, ANC voters in our city, in our country, who might be thinking and feeling just the same as Councillor Majingo, your leader, the ANC's leader here in Cape Town, is feeling. He has joined the DA today, and I invite you to do the same. He has realized we are building the future here. We are building a future of opportunity for our country and for our city. He's joined the DA, and I invite you all to do the same. Big news here in Cape Town.
Or is it really big news? Or is it really just the ANC infiltrating the Democratic Alliance? Has anyone considered that? This is simply the ANC infiltrating the Democratic Alliance. We've seen this before. We've seen people come to the Democratic Alliance and then undermine it. Tani Pat being one of them. Big example there. And then, of course, Steve Biko's girlfriend came over. She joined too. That didn't go so well. So is this good news for the DA? Is it bad news for the ANC? Well, it's bad news for the ANC, unless, of course, he's just a spy. Is he a spy? Didn't this guy once sing Kill the Boar? I don't recall. Can somebody remind me of that? I think he sang Kill the Boar once upon a time. I could be wrong about that. But this could not be quite the great development that the Democratic Alliance thinks it is. I'm just saying, folks. A traitor has been revealed. ANC to do damage control as caucus leader drops party for the DA. Wow. Opposition parties in the city of Cape Town, seeing red, have vowed to remove Council Speaker Felicity Purchase, even by turning to the court. This was after the party's plans were thwarted after ANC caucus leader Banele Majingo ditched the party for the DA. I don't really understand how that's even an issue. The DA has an outright majority in the council, so how could they possibly remove her in a vote of no confidence? It wouldn't happen. They don't have the votes. I don't understand that. The DA has an outright majority. How could they possibly even need anybody? They wouldn't even need anybody. It doesn't make any sense. ANC's Dula Omar, regional deputy chairperson, Sonwabile Nkriza, said every revolution produced its own heroes, martyrs, and its own traitors. This is a moment where a traitor within the ANC has been revealed, and I want to place on the record as a point of view that this is betrayal. Oh, dear gosh. It's a trap! It's a trap! They act as if... They act as if it's all a big plan to get the ANC. A sellout. Opposition parties seethe after ANC leader in Cape Town ditches the party and joins the DA. Again, they don't have the votes, so what's the point? What's the point? The mayor urged members of other political parties to join. And I want to really speak directly to all the current and former ANC voters who feel exactly the same as Councillor Majingo. We want all the same things, opportunities for our children, jobs. You just heard it right there from none other than Jordan Hill Lewis himself. Well, that's crazy. Spits in the face of our hard-won democracy. The economic freedom fighters slammed the nomination of Brent Bozell as U.S. ambassador to South Africa. Of course, I did a video on that last night. Okay, I mean, seriously. Is there anything from the economic freedom fighters that we can even take remotely seriously? These people are a clown car show of the highest order. They are the convenient foils for the ANC who are unwilling to act quite as stupid as the EFF does. Yeah, so, Innocentia Kadameng does a story here about how the EFF is upset. This nomination is not a mere diplomatic appointment. It's a calculated act of aggression, a blatant declaration of war against the sovereignty, dignity, and aspirations of the South African people. How? Brent Bozell doesn't know anything about South Africa. What's your problem? The EFF. Boy, if they weren't so sad, they'd be entertaining. Well, folks, it's an emergency. It's an emergency. Did you know that? South Africa's water crisis is an emergency. Nearly a decade after day zero in Cape Town, and after no water's been in Nelson Mandela Bay for years as the reservoirs ran to mud pits, Cyril Ramaphosa has woken up 7 years into his administration and realized that water is a problem. Water should be delivered in pipes, not trucks. What a concept. Water security is human security. Soylent Green is people. Ew. No thanks. No thanks. I'll pass on the Soylent Green. Wow. This is an emergency. Welcome to the party, Cyril. Ramaphosa paints a bleak picture of South Africa's water supply at a national indaba. Well, looky here. Oh, look behind him. There's Velenkoli Labisa just off his shoulder behind him, the leader of the Inkatha Freedom Party. President Cyril Ramaphosa called for an urgent national water plan during the water and sanitation indaba. This is an emergency. We need an urgent, reliable national plan for water. Well, duh. Wow, that's leadership. 20 years later, recognizing the problem and trying to come to the rescue. Also present were officials from the Trans-Caledon Tunnel Authority, which is a place I visited and shown you the footage here on this program, which works with South Africa on the Lesotho Highlands Water Project. Yes, the president said it was important to note that the indaba took place on the heels of the State of the Nation address where we made water priority number one. Well, thank you in 2025 for identifying water as a national priority in a country where only 13% of the land is arable. Yes, and you all said the ANC couldn't govern. You all said that Africans couldn't govern South Africa. You said the ANC didn't know what they're doing. They couldn't possibly govern South Africa. Oh, wait, you were right. You were right. You were right. Oh, my goodness. Water should be delivered in pipes, not in trucks. Yes, indeed, Cyril. Yes, speaking of the water and sanitation indaba at Gallagher Convention Center in Midrand, there are people who make it their business to go and cut water lines to create business for themselves. That is the criminality that has now entered the water space. That is what we must collectively talk about and find ways of bringing it to an end. Dude, I reported on this in 2022 from South Africa, Cyril. From South Africa, from Northwest Province, in a little village, a little dorp just north of Zerust, where I stayed overnight. Combination provided by Koketsu Ritsani's mom. And I couldn't leave in the morning because of service delivery protests. Why? Because they cut off the water supply so that the criminals could get the tender. Cyril, I reported on this in August of 2022. It is March of 2025, nearly 2.5, going on 3 years later, and you're just waking up to this. I'm not even South African. I don't even live in South Africa, and I reported on this. Wow. Dude, maybe you should watch Chris Wyatt Reports, Cyril. I'm just saying. Why not? Daily Maverick does. Newsroom Africa does. News 24 does. Why shouldn't you watch it? Why shouldn't you watch it? Come on, tune in, Cyril. Tune in. Fikile Mbalula vows the ANC won't sell out on transformation. Transformation is not transformation. Transformation is racist. It's not transformation. The transformation happened in 1994. Your governance is pathetic. ANC's National Executive Committee will meet over 4 days from Friday to address the budget impasse and among other things. All those other things, of course, is calling America racist and Donald Trump a threat to our sovereignty. He's bullying us. He's attacking us. Oh my gosh, the sky is falling. It's terrible. Help, help. Evil colonial, neo-colonial imperialist America is coming for us. Oh, sorry. I was just preparing the script for the National Executive Committee meetings for the ANC for this week. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Yep. Well, several Russian tourists have died when a submarine sinks off the coast of Egypt. Russian embassy in Cairo issued a statement saying 4 people have been killed. The fate of several tourists is being determined. Wow. At least 4 Russian citizens are killed after a tourist mini-submarine known as a bathoscope sank less than a mile off the Red Sea resort. The Russian embassy in Cairo issued a statement on Facebook. At 10 a.m., at a distance of 1 kilometer from the shore, an accident of the bathoscope Sinbad belonging to the hotel of the same name occurred. According to initial data, most of the passengers on board were rescued and taken to their hotels and hospitals. Their health is not a concern. 4 people have been killed. The fate of several tourists is being determined. In addition to crew members, there were 45 tourists on board, including minors, all of them Russian citizens. Sinbad Submarines company that operated the bathoscope said it was one of only 14 recreational submarines in the world. The company's website said the vessel had 44 passenger seats, each with a viewing window. Passengers are able to view a coral reef and marine habitats about 75 feet below the surface of the ocean. Well, that's actually the Red Sea, not the ocean. Although the vessel usually ventured down to that depth, it was engineered in Finland to sustain depths of 225 feet. Wow. That's bad news. Thoughts and prayers to the families of the Russians lost in that. More news from Egypt, where archaeologists have uncovered an unknown pharaoh's tomb. The burial chamber most likely belonged to a ruler in a line of kings once lost to history. It's a new chapter in investigating this dynasty. Archaeologists and researchers at the site of the newly discovered tomb at Abydos, one of the oldest cities of ancient Egypt, 300 miles south of Cairo. Archaeologists have uncovered a huge tomb of an unknown pharaoh at an Egyptian necropolis, a team of researchers said on Thursday, in the second discovery of a king's tomb this year. The team of Egyptian and American archaeologists, those evil Americans, evil, systemically racist Americans, ooh, what are they doing in Egypt? Of Egyptian American archaeologists found the tomb, which researchers estimate is 3,600 years old, nearly 23 feet underground at Abydos, one of the oldest cities of ancient Egypt. It was a burial place for early pharaohs and a necropolis developed at Anubis Mountain to the city's south. They uncovered the tomb at the mountain at the base of a high desert cliff where strong winds carry gusts of sand. In some places around the necropolis, the sand has buried structures more than 16 to 19 feet deep. The burial chamber features a decorated entryway, several rooms, and a soaring 16-foot vault made of mud bricks. It dwarfs the tomb unearthed at Abydos over a decade ago, which was hailed at the time as the first material proof of a lost dynasty of kings. It's a new chapter investigating this dynasty, says Joseph Wegner, curator at the Penn Museum in Philadelphia and leader of the American side of the excavation. It's pretty exciting. Egypt's Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities briefly described the findings at Abydos earlier this month, but researchers at the Penn Museum announced more about the discovery today. Wow. Pretty exciting stuff. There are no identifiable skeletal remains in the newly unearthed site, and like a tomb near the Valley of the Kings, this one has suffered major damage over the centuries. At Abydos, grave robbers picked the tomb largely clean, a grand recess in the burial chamber for canopic jars, vessels for organs typically held in a gilded box, stood empty. They did just enough damage to the decoration that we have just the very base of what we have been thinking of identifying the text columns. The new findings suggest the Abydos dynasty was not a kind of flash in the pan where you've got a handful of kings breaking off from whatever original territory they belonged to, but rather it was a serious dynasty that lasted a significant amount of time. I don't know what time you should be glued to Morning Shot. Just, Morning Shot, there'll be something whenever they publish their regular video on Morning Shot Saturday. I'll be doing rugby, so I won't be covering that. North Korea has unveiled an AI-enabled drone strike test from high-tech plane. Look at that thing, man. Is that like a copy of a Global Hawk? Look at the size of that drone. Wow. Large reconnaissance drone in undisclosed location in North Korea. That thing is massive. I know Koreans aren't tall, but still, look at the intake. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un oversaw high-tech military developments on Wednesday and Thursday as his huge but old-fashioned armed forces continue to climb the value chain. While the high technologies and recent combat experience in Russia have likely added to the lethality of his 1.1 million strong military, new intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance assets could do more to stabilize than destabilize peninsula security, say experts. Pyongyang's Korea Central News Agency also said they had overseen tests of AI-enabled suicide attack drones. AI-enabled suicide attack drones. What the hell? Seriously? Meanwhile, Australia's capital is being swamped. Swamped. Well, not just the capital, but all their major cities. Australia's capital cities gained 373,000 migrants amid housing infrastructure strain. The migration boom keeps Sydney and Melbourne growing despite local exodus. Despite slowing migration, Australia's capital cities welcomed 373,000 international migrants in the year ending June 2024. Sydney and Melbourne received the largest shares of overseas migrants by far, with the harbour city receiving 120,000 and Victoria's capital receiving 121,000. Followed by Perth, at 53,000 new people came to Perth. My goodness. Brisbane, 44,000, Adelaide, 21,000, and Canberra, 6,200. Wow. That's crazy. That's just crazy. The cities are growing at twice the rate of the rest of Australia. But who's coming? Asians. Australia is becoming less Australian and more Asian. Yes. Missing soldiers in Lithuania. NATO falsely reported that they were dead. They had no evidence of that. The Mi-88 Hercules recovery vehicle was found Wednesday, a day after the soldiers went missing during a training exercise. Search and recovery efforts for the 4 soldiers are ongoing. Rescuers in Lithuania are digging in a peat bog Thursday as they tried to recover the submerged vehicle of 4 U.S. soldiers who went missing during a training exercise. The Army said in a statement Thursday that the search and recovery for the soldiers, all from 1st Brigade, 3rd Infantry Division, was ongoing. The initial search involved hundreds of U.S. and Lithuanian soldiers and law enforcement that scoured the area's thick forest and swampy terrain. We're leveraging every available U.S. and Lithuanian asset to coordinate and provide required resources for the effort, said Army Major General Curtis Taylor. What's interesting about this, folks, is it's a bit crazy. Due to the terrain, it's an incredibly complex engineering effort. But here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing. How in the world do 4 soldiers just disappear when they found the recovery vehicle and no remains? No remains. So, have these troops been captured by Belarusian forces and detained? We don't know. What happened to 4 soldiers on a training exercise? I've been on hundreds of training exercises. We never lost a single soldier. We had people lose sensitive items and weapons. We recover them, but never lost a soldier. British car industry's urge trade deal as U.S. imposed a 25% tariff on imports. Yes. United States is United Kingdom's second largest export market for cars, and they're about to be smacked with a 25% tariff. Vehicles are the second largest contributor to UK goods exports, U.S. after machinery, and the sector plays a significant role in supporting the UK's GDP growth. Major UK manufacturers such as Jaguar, Land Rover, Aston Martin, and Rolls-Royce stand to be affected by the tariffs. Shares in Aston Martin, which is listed on London Stock Exchange, dropped 6% after Trump announced the tariffs. That's not good. That is not good. They're already suffering production declines. February saw an 11.6% drop with just over 82,000 vehicles produced. It's the 12th consecutive month of contraction in the UK car manufacturing industry. Exports remain the primary outlet for UK cars, with 60,000 units sent abroad of the 82,000 produced. The United States accounted for 20% of car exports. Wow. Not good, folks. Not good. The fascist United Kingdom had better stop oppressing its citizens and stop letting criminal alien invaders come in and get more rights. And while you're at it, why don't you stop letting Muslims insult Christians by holding their prayer services on Church of England grounds? Go to a mosque, go somewhere else. But that's not happening. So guess you're going to see tariffs, UK. The Trump administration plans mass layoffs at the Health and Human Services Department. Good. What are those people doing? The Trump administration today said that 10,000 employees of the Health and Human Services Department will be dismissed as part of a major reorganization designed by Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. They're part of a drastic reduction in personnel for the Health Department, which now employs about 82,000 people. Other media outlets have said the number being sacked is 20,000. Not sure which. Well, taxpayers are paying twice for Medicaid. So Democrats are running around the country screaming, oh, the Republicans are cutting Medicaid. Not cutting Medicaid. They're cutting the fraud, waste, and abuse. People are filing claims in 2 states, and insurance companies are making 2 claims, and Medicaid is paying both of these claims, costing us hundreds of billions of dollars potentially. Recipients signed up in 2 states at once. Insurers often got paid by both. It is definitely wasteful. Health insurers got double paid by the Medicaid system for the coverage of hundreds of thousands of patients across the country, costing taxpayers billions of dollars in extra payments. The insurers, which are paid by state and federal governments to cover low-income Medicaid recipients, collect at least $4.3 billion over 3 years from patients who are enrolled and paid for in other states. So once again, that's just $4.3 million they've identified at the start. Wait till they identify all of it, billion. Wait to identify all of it, and they want to attack Elon Musk for Doge, for trying to clean up the fraud, waste, and abuse in our government. Double payments to insurance companies. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. For the same care. Why are we paying for poor people's health care? Why aren't poor people paying for the health care? Right? And they were double paying for it. IMF is not going to loan South Africa any money. You're dreaming, Tomahawk. Appeals court halts a judge's order requiring Musk to hand over Doge records. A federal appeals court has blocked a court order that would have required Elon Musk to turn over records tied to Doge's government downsizing efforts. A federal appeals court has temporarily blocked a discovery order from U.S. District Judge Tunka Chunkin, that's the scumbag who oversaw Trump's case, that would have required Elon Musk and Department of Government Efficiency to turn over documents. In a ruling issued on March 26, U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia granted emergency stay of her stupid March 12th order, which had largely granted limited expedited discovery of a coalition of 13 Democratic-led states requiring Musk and Doge to produce documents and respond to questions within 21 days. This is a victory for the rule of law in the face of lawfare by demon rats. Well, Donald Trump threatens heavier tariffs on Canada and the EU if they work against the United States. President Trump warned the EU and Canada on Thursday not to collude in their response to his heavy trade tactics. If the European Union works with Canada in order to do economic harm to the United States, large-scale tariffs far larger than currently planned will be placed on them both in order to protect the best friend that each of these 2 countries has ever had. His 25% tariff on autos not made in the United States goes into effect on April 2nd. Well, will Canada and the European Union continue to play chicken with Donald Trump? We'll see who wins that fight. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, indicates that the Signal chat episode will not be criminally investigated. The Attorney General said the focus will be on the success of the military strike, not that military information was shared in advance in a group text among top officials. Attorney General Pam Bondi signaled on Thursday that there was unlikely to be a criminal investigation into the sharing of military operations. Well, I have an issue with this. The Office of Director of National Intelligence's Inspector General should be doing an investigation into this, potentially the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which works for her. ODNI does not work for her. It works for Tulsi Gabbard and is a cabinet position. But there must be an investigation into the stupidity and the foolhardiness of people having classified discussions over chat sessions instead of doing secured video teleconferencing. Unacceptable. Attorney General, unacceptable. You look just like the Democrats, like you're trying to cover something up. Well, Trump's tariffs have crushed car producers. Auto stocks are taking tariff news on the chin. Shares in car makers such as General Motors and Stellantis sank in morning trading. International rivals such as BMW, Toyota, and Hyundai that export U.S. also came under pressure. Broadly, losses on the NASDAQ composite were down 2% on Wednesday. 2% loss for the market on Wednesday. The appeals court maintains a block on Trump administration's spending freeze. So here you go. Here's the courts and their lawfare. Federal appeals court Thursday maintained a block on Trump's attempt to pause a large swath of federal spending. The 3-judge panel of the First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said agencies can pause some spending, but they cross lines when they issue categorical freezes. The ruling maintains a lower court judge's injunction on the spending cause, which Trump ordered and his budget office attempt to carry out on January 27th. number of demon rat-led states had challenged the spending pause. The issue before the appeals court was whether to let the pause go into effect in some fashion, even as the case is being argued on lower court. Judge David Barron said the Department of Justice failed to make its case. He said they haven't proved that the Office of Budget Management actions are lawful and that the damage to states was too great to allow the administration to proceed. Well, the states aren't entitled to my tax-paying money, so this judge needs to sit down and shut up. Pam Bondi in the news once again saying an arrest of an alleged MS-13 leader. The Attorney General and Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin gave few details of the arrest, but touted President Trump's crackdown on illegal aliens. There is Glenn Youngkin to the left, Pam Bondi in the center, and FBI Director Kash Patel on the right. Federal authorities announced today the arrest of Virginia of a person they described as one of the top 3 MS-13 gang leaders. The arrest, hailed on social media by Trump and in public remarks by White House Press Secretary Karen Leavitt, stood out for both the attention it drew from top officials and the scant details that were released. America is safe today because one of the top domestic terrorists of MS-13 is taken off the streets. This is an ongoing directive of President Donald Trump. We didn't need new laws. As President Trump always said, we need a new president. Exactly. Exactly right. The Democrats claim that the problem with America is we need comprehensive immigration reform, which is a crock of horse manure. What we need is administration to apply the rule of law to this country, and that is what is happening under the Trump administration. Well, folks, I've gotten through my news in just 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes. That's pretty fast today. So we can have a little chat here. I'm very sorry. I cannot see today. My eyes are so messed up. Went to bed about 5 o'clock in the morning, got up at 7, and been working since then. Let me go back to the top of the chat and try to start catching up with folks and see what's going on here. Well, I'm 15 minutes into it. It lets me go back to. We got Kurtz Verhoeven, Chris Ehlers, Gerardo Steenkamp, Jade Mostart. What happens to the H-2 workers saying their visa expire in a month or two? We say extend. No, they won't extend their visas. Why would they extend their visas, Jade Mostart? There's no program. Are you alluding to the refugee program? No such program exists. Why would people who have a temporary visa for labor be allowed to stay here longer? That's not the practice. They will go home to South Africa. That's how it works. Wolf the Blind Biker, Dylan Combrick and OG is here. Relaxing Positive Energy, Sai, Jan Filion, and Vilma Erasmus, Debbie Moray, Karen, I guess Bridger's here and I missed that. Stella 4, Reg Dodd, Weatherman, Them Goofs, Celeb, what the hell? ANC must not share the pipe. Okay. Celeb Drama, if you don't switch to lowercase, you'll be blocked. Only one allowed to use uppercase on my channel is Hendo, one of my original moderators. For emphasis, using all caps is considered shouting. It's bad etiquette on chat going back to the 1980s. So please do not do that again. Take your caps lock off or I will delete your text. Thank you. Political gods who have destroyed the country and blame everyone else for their failures. Sure, all shame. You, the political leader, PK. Okay, what else? Good afternoon, Chris, and evening, everybody. The Home Hero, Transporter Waterworks in favor of the water truck mafia who are part of the government or just more corruption. Spot on. Spot on. Saturday, going to go watch Morning Shot, says Petro Jakobsen. Schools in Hillcrest did not have water for 6 weeks. This is only the beginning of bigger uprising. Malema knows how to get his supporters riled up. The thing is, he has fewer and fewer supporters. Interesting. I watched the whole segment on the Egyptian tomb, says Debbie. Yeah, I think it's fascinating. Giving money to Egypt, South Africa needs that money. Who's giving money to Egypt? I'm not. Nell says the 44 Afrikaners. Well, there's a couple more. Don't believe everything Charlize Theron tells you. Valerie von Vijk says, at what time on Saturday? I don't know what time Saturday, Val. You'll have to check it out. I just have to let you know there'll be a surprise on Morning Shot this Saturday. You can check it out. I'll be doing rugby. Tomorrow, Stormers, their playoff hopes on the line. They need to win tomorrow. And who are they playing? Is it Scarlets? Let's take a look real quick. I'm drawing a blank on that at the moment. I'll be covering that game on Rugby Ascendant. And they're playing, no, oh my goodness, are they playing Ulster? Ooh, that's going to be tough. They're going to be in Belfast tomorrow. 9:30 South Africa time, 3:30 my time. I'll be covering that tomorrow. That's going to be tough when the season is on the line for the Stormers. They just moved back into playoff position. Despite their poor record, they're in 8th position on the log. At least that's what it was last time I looked. Let's take a look here. The Stormers are in 8th position. He has 6 wins and 7 losses. They need to win here and level up the table at 7-7. Get a bonus point victory, which would take them out to 38 points on the log. Provided the teams above them don't do well, that would be very good for them. But they must win this game. You have 4 teams at the top that are really strong. And then in the other 4 playoff positions, 4 also-rans, none of which have a winning record. Cardiff at 6-1-6, Munster 6-7, Osprey at 6-1-6, and the Stormers at 6-7. None of these teams have a winning record. The only difference between them is bonus points. Yeah, so the Stormers have got to get their act together for this weekend. Otherwise, they're going to be out of the playoffs most likely when the end of the season comes. Gadget, welcome to you. Dylan Kummer, Jan van Driel. Friends and family only says, you hear the South African blacks say they actually built the pyramids? I've heard somebody make that claim. John Spence with a super chat, which came up while I was giving the news. Having had the day off, I noticed there's a narrative being created on social media that there's a comparison being made between that of Gaza land and South African land, irrespective of any historical perspective. Well, it's not a legitimate comparison. People make up all kinds of crap all the time. China's 6th generation fighter jet yesterday. I didn't see that, Jan. That's a drone. That is a drone. That huge thing. Now, I realize North Koreans are short because they don't get adequate nutrition, and genetically they're short anyway, but that thing is massive. New kamikaze drone. Yep. I don't think it does look like Moby Dick. I don't think that's a kamikaze drone. They were talking about having a kamikaze drone. Waarom is ons hele afgegeven? Waar maakt het stil? Don't have an answer for you there now. Garrett Gillich, welcome. Erica Strauss. Charmaine is here. Truth is Valuable. Chris Ehlers. Ronell, you have to come back to South Africa so you can apply RFD within South Africa. Yep, exactly. Primal Boar, welcome to you. Neanderthal White Dog, Madeline Ruiz, Veritas, Heidi Krüger, Stella 4. So the EFF is gunning for Rania. Yeah, no, I'll cover that story if I get time. It's just there's too many stories. Can't cover everything. This morning I got tied up for an hour that I didn't expect, and I may be tied up Sunday for something else going on. Also, I'm going to be interviewed by another podcast on Sunday. Marilyn here. How are you guys, you and Lindsay, doing there, Marilyn? I miss you guys. How are the grandkids? Did you hear how stupid our Minister of Defense is? She reckons we have enough fighter jets and helicopters to defend our country. I didn't see that. So, okay. We are talking about Minister 30%, right? So it's not a surprise. Pierre Rousseau is fashionably late. Chan is there. Wen Mari. Yolandi Smith. Tomahawk. Francois Ailes. What happened to Connor pleading for help with the Ireland migrant crisis? What do you mean what happened to him? What do you mean what happened to him? I don't know. Something happened to him? He said that in a press conference with Carolyn Levitt, and it went global. Should read the IOL news report of 70,000 farmer refugees for laugh. Okay, I didn't say anything in IOL on farmers. I'll go to IOL. Let's see what this story is, because I'm curious now. Constitutional Court dismisses Afriform's leave to appeal kill the Boer speech as hate speech. Well, there you go. There you go. Just in. So racism is the order of the day. It's institutionalized racism in South Africa. Constitutional Court has dismissed the leave to appeal by Afriform, an advocacy group determined to ban. In the ruling hand on Thursday, the Apex Court said the application bears no reasonable prospects for success. No reasonable prospects for success. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to go off camera for just a moment and make a quick contact to somebody. Give me just a second here. I'll wait till I'm ready to do it. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. Okay, let me take care of this real quick. I'll be right back. I'll be with you in just a moment. Don't run off on me. Don't run off. And I'm back. Thank you for your patience. That was important, folks. That was important. So I had to get that message out to somebody very quickly. So hopefully I'll get a response on that. Okay, so yeah, I'm at the IOL, and oh, here we go. Cabinet rubbishes claims of 17,000 farmers seeking. Okay. Government is dismissed with contempt widespread claims of more than 70,000 commercial farmers having applied. Well, okay, first off. Oh my gosh, it's a shame. This news breaks when I'm doing a live broadcast. First off, I'm gonna have to do a video. Please come back and watch my video. There are not 70,000 commercial farmers in South Africa, for starters. Wow. Who wrote this? Wow. Well, whoever wrote it doesn't matter. It's actually it's actually. Oh my goodness, it's not 70,000 commercial farmers. That's just stupid. Earlier this month, Iowa reported South African Chamber of Commerce insisted it had received overwhelming interest from Afrikaner farmers. No, they never said farmers. What is their problem? Do they think that white people are only farmers? Good God. If they're only farmers, how could they be white monopoly capitalists? How could white people be running the country and oppressing everybody if the only occupation they have is farmers? Good God. Stupid is as stupid does. Cabinet is aware of the false claim that there are approximately 72,000 white farmers. There aren't 72,000 white farmers. Oh my goodness. These people are so stupid. So freaking moronic. Oh my goodness. You see how they just lie. No one said there were 70,000 white farmers, you freaking morons, you dingbat doorknobs, you dipshit idiots. No one ever said that. But they're not stupid. This is intentional. It's distraction. Good Lord. Good Lord. Oh, wait till I rubbish this news report. Oh my, I better save it before they delete it. Save the page. All right, let's get this into my news folder. Wow, before they delete the damn story, let me get a screen capture. This is unbelievably moronic. Now, the journalist, I won't pick on him because he's just reporting it. He's not commenting. He's not claiming it. He's just reporting with the presidency. Inchavini reveals just how stupid she is again. Oh, my goodness. No one claimed that there were 70,000 commercial farmers, you dumbasses. Good God. Oh. Bram, thank you for your membership. Oh, good Lord. Mark my words, one of these days people will be arrested for tweeting and posting negative things towards government. Oh, Hugo, of course they will. Of course they will. Exactly, Ronell. No use asking me about Saturday. What, you think you get some special rights to know what's going on? I told you. You're curious? Tune in to Morning Shot on Saturday. Or maybe they'll post what they're doing before then. But that's all I'm at liberty to say. Guys, you have to understand. People have responsibility to maintain confidences. I have confidences here. I can tell you that much, and I told you what I can tell you. And that's the end of that conversation. Luister, Biki, wat briefmerk van dag daarvoor gezegd. Luister na 1 hour and 20 minutes. Well, okay, Fafo, instead of driving people over to that channel, instead of watching my content, why don't you tell us what briefmerk had to say at 1 hour and 20 minutes into his broadcast? He was on at an unusual time. I noticed that he was live broadcasting earlier. There's moderators here. Loretta, right below you. There's one right there. Chris Marie, she's a moderator. Isn't Ronell a moderator? Or Debbie? Okay. The G-Man, who was abducted. Good evening, Joy. Angry Bird Lady's back. Angry Bird Lady. Whose birthday is it? Okay, I didn't see whose birthday it is, but we'll put the cake up just the same. Somebody can repeat that. Here we go. Happy birthday to somebody. I didn't catch who it was. There's the birthday cake. All right. So, okay. I just see a lot of happy birthdays. I don't see who it was. Oh, maybe it's Candace. Candace Stridham. Happy birthday to Candace. You're saying thank you. Gilba Fenta. All right. Happy birthday to Kansas. Candace, not Candace. Kansas, Candace. Oh, gosh. All right. Sedgefield's in from the garden route. And now it really jumped on me. My chat just went flying forward here. Alwyn Wayne Dippenar, hello. The audacity to clickbait people with their heading. Who's clickbaiting? My wife and I drove past that land grab, sports cars everywhere. What's disinformation? What disinformation, guys? Oh, that. Yeah, what I just said. More like 32,000 boards. Who's counting? No, I said 28 to 32,000. That's what I've said. I don't have the exact numbers. Every time I join the screen, Chris loses my mind about something. Well, in Nyanga, you're joining at odd times. I've been incredibly sedate. You should have been here last night. The news in South Africa is really keeping you busy. It never stops. Propaganda is getting clearer. Yep. When did Africa receive the wheel? Okay. 2 pot plants. Okay, well, that's keep that to yourself, Quentin. The reason why they think that we're all farmers is due to the fact that all of us can keep chickens and harvest eggs without eating the chicken. Maybe. Happy birthday to Kansas. Candace. God bless it. I keep saying Kansas. Where's the news article? The news article is right here. $72,000 South African farmers seeking U.S. refugee status. They say farmer there. They say commercial farmers here. They say Afrikaner farmers here. There are no. It's just beyond stupid. Again, I'm not going to beat up the journalist because he's just reporting what the government said. Wow. It's my saying, or must I run in the forest now? What are you talking about, Bram? Never mind the atom bombs technology. It sounds like another country. Please don't have a heart attack. We need you. Heart attack? Gosh, you people really think I'm unfit, don't you? I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't carouse. Yeah. So, stupidity needs to bring out the best. Yeah, angry bird. Headphones distorting. Turn my volume to low. Sorry about that, Heinrich. I leaned all the way back away from the microphone when I got excited. Graham Kelly says 69 IQ becomes more prevalent. I've got this microphone turned down to halfway. It's a new microphone, so it's a bit more powerful than the one that was getting old. Yeah, dingbat doorknobs incoming. Yep. Copy, welcome back to you. Red John, we are all farmers, planted our feet in the ground, started to grow. Michael Fenta, Hunger Games coming. Yeah, it's the same as their 44 Afrikaners. That's a good point. I remember growing up, white people referred to themselves as Boer, even though we lived in town and not in farms. Well, people aren't very bright, claiming there's 70,000 farmers. Reporters love fiction. Well, it's not the reporter, Tom. I don't blame the reporter in this one. This is Kumbudzu Nchaveni, who's this dumb one, not the reporter. He's simply reporting what she said. He's doing his job, so nothing on the reporter. Love to see the video of this when you make it. These are the people in our government. It's terrible. Yep. Well, El Marie, once I finish this stream, I will make the video. I will make the video right after this. That'd be my next fact. I had other things to do. Once again, tomorrow morning I get a bit early, so tonight's broadcast won't be that long. Won't be 3 hours, that's for darn sure, because I have to go to the dentist tomorrow and get my tooth looked at, because it's a follow-up for care from last year. If you don't want TB, stop breathing. Is that advice from the Ministry of Health? Does nutsack Shavani not? Please don't let the morons give you a heart attack. Nope. They don't love facts. Did you do that Newsroom Africa interview? What Newsroom Africa interview? What are you talking about, Lenny? I didn't do any interview with them. I think Uncle Chris broke my phone, so all of a sudden I can hear you. The volume is low. What do you call a hot dog in Afrikaans? Okay, I'm not even going to try that one. Well, again, I don't blame the journalist. The journalist is reporting what was reported there. There's Renelle. She's got a spanner. You will have to watch Morning Shot on Saturday. Yeah, exactly. I am Neo. Isn't it annoying how people keep asking to hear something that I said I'm not going to share over and over again? Do you think asking me 35 times is going to make me reveal it? You don't know much about me, do you? Tractor Champ, commercial farmer, farms 1,000 hectares and more. Okay. Well, thank you for that clarification. Okay. Yeah, always listening. Thank you, Francois Creel. Stian Forster. Joe Cruiser, first wave, 70,000, followed by lots more. What does Evan do? Is Evan stepping back again? Evan Galopta, the attorney? Okay. Yeah, stupid people should have a sign. Father-in-law always said there's no medicine for stupidity. That's true. Rob, what was that? Rob was on Station of the Nation. I don't even know what Station of the Nation is. Never heard of that. When did my passport? 12th, I can collect tomorrow. Congratulations, Angie. Maybe the reporter got confused with the Afrikaans word boer, to be honest. Exactly. No, she said she's the one that said it, not him. Okay. I wonder what's going to happen with bank loans on farms if they take it. Well, you're still eligible or required to pay back your loan even if they confiscate your property. Government is guilty for spreading disinformation. Reporters amplify it because they get lazy. Start supporting the All Blacks, Colonel. Nope. Springboks. Journalists should fact check before they post a story. Says make sure to wash your hands after toilet use at government hospitals. Yet for the most part, there's no soap. True. It's an absolutely moronic and shameful behavior by the ANC to persecute farmers and their administration staff for employing illegal immigrants simply because they have chosen to seek refuge in the USA. I don't know if you can see my comments, but I just want to make sure that you receive my WhatsApp. Wolf, so many of you send me stuff. You're not in my address book, so I don't know who it is because it's just your phone number. I don't know if I have received it. Chat moving very fast. Is it too fast? Sent you a link, your email address. Enjoy the watch. Thank you for that. We feel like your children. Do I suppose we act the part by asking? Yeah, some people do. Notable, nothing's happened to him, and the South African Human Rights Commission has made no comment on Notable or Nobs Mkhize. You cannot complain about ever running out of content. Oh, no, Johan, I can't. I can't. Look, I was going to analyze, weeks ago, I intended to analyze Ernst Rutz's interview with Tucker Carlson. I haven't had time for that. I started writing an article a month ago, which I've never finished. I haven't published any articles because I'm busy doing this. If I was getting faster growth on the channel, it would be more rewarding, but the growth is really painful. It's working, it's growing, but it's slow right now. So, yeah, there's constant stuff. I don't have to look for stuff, and then people send me things all the time. The two stories I want to do today, which I didn't get to, the video, I broke it on the news story here, but it was already out for 4 hours, was the guy from the ANC joined the DA. I wanted to do that story. Someone sent me that video as it broke this morning when Jordan Hill Lewis posted that 4 hours ago, but I couldn't get to that. Then this farmer's being arrested for hiring illegals when there's illegals working in tuck shops, illegals working in restaurants, in movie theaters, in hotels, all over South Africa. None of them are being rounded up. They just go to a farm. Why? Because they're targeting the farmers. And why are they targeting the farmers? Because they want to make criminals out of them so they can confiscate their land and say, well, we can't let these farmers own land. They hire illegals. And to listen to the racist black scumbag cop or whoever's with the cops, because I don't know for certain it was a cop, call him a racist because he hired foreigners. How does that make him a racist? It doesn't make him racist. That's how stupid these people are. So stupid. They don't even know what racism is because that's all they say. Racism, racism, racism. It's like the moron who called me a terrorist on Facebook. Do you even know what a terrorist is, you dipshit? No, you're right, Johan. I can never run out of stories of South Africa, particularly now. The stupidity is amped up at such a level, it's unbelievable. Michael Fenter, didn't see your question. It's not asylum. What are you talking about? What asylum? Now I got to go back and find your comment, Michael Fenter. I don't see Michael Fenter in here anywhere. So thank you for responding to that. There's no asylum. This isn't asylum. If you think you're asylum, you're listening to the wrong people. There's no asylum here. You can only apply for asylum if you're legally, lawfully in the United States. Then you can apply for asylum. And 95% are rejected out of hand. And 97% are eventually rejected total. Almost nobody applies for asylum as legitimate. They're all frauds. So if you want to apply for asylum, you got to be here. And you're probably not going to get it. So, Barbara Harrison, welcome to you. Glad to see you on the live. Watch some Irish dude who's going on about basically stating the obvious. They're having similar issues with foreigners. Oh, yeah, Ireland is gone. We don't have a water problem in our laboratory. We have 2 JoJo tanks. Hey, Louisa. Chris, have you done your taxes? Nope, Charmaine, I haven't done my taxes. I sorted through the paperwork and looked to see if I had all the forms. I mean, the taxes are complicated, so. This is the start of my tax. These are just forms from income and dividends and things like that I have to pay. So I have a 1099-R, which is my retirement pay from the military. Then I have 1099. Let's see what else we got here. Then I've got a 1099 NEC, which is from one source of income. Then I have a 1099 MSIC, which is miscellaneous from another source of income. Then I have 1099 dividend statements. Then I have interest statements from banking accounts, which pay nothing. I have to go to the trouble of filing, even though they pay almost nothing. Then I have proof of medical insurance, because you have to file that or they fine you. Then I have extra tax payments. Oh, there's a payment I made in, what's 2024? Yeah, $6,000. I paid $6,000 on one day in June. I forgot I paid that. Good Lord. It's a lot of money, man. $6,000 to the federal government. And I paid $1,500 to Pennsylvania the same day. $7,500 in taxes. And I don't even make that much money. It's just they take almost half my income. It's complicated. It's complicated. Yep. Embassy asked for photos. They have facial recognition equipment at borders. Yeah, we provided that to all the African countries. Those machines, you see those little square boxes where you put your passport on? We, the taxpayer, pay for that all over Africa, the United States. 64,000 today, next up 70,000, says Bergmeister. Well, we're not getting there fast enough. Tell us of life in America. I think people love to hear. Rihanna, I've talked endlessly about life in America, shown videos over and over again. I'm not sure what you want to hear, you want me to talk about. It's definitely the last cop with thick red lipstick that called that farmer racist. Yep, that's what I said, son. First off, doesn't that violate Popia? Isn't that illegal to film them like that? You can't film suspects and share it on social media. These cops need to be disciplined. This is unbelievable, the conduct of these cops. No USAID money left for the ANC to pay out. Well, they never got the AID money. That's a misnomer, Bach and Terry. That never went to the ANC. The money goes to third parties, and we audit that money. It alleviated the ANC of providing those services, but they never got the money. So now they have to provide the services or people go without. Now it's not going to be the K9s. It'll be the Blue Bison. That'll be our new team, the Blue Bison. Yeah, and Chimini says, hold my beer. About those sanctions, why does it seem Trump is dragging his heels, sanctioning Malema and his cronies for killing the boar? U.S. placed sanctions in South Africa. Well, because killing the boar is not something that violates U.S. law. I mean, we have free speech. It's inappropriate, it's rude, it's disrespectful, and it's terroristic in its nature. But your constitutional court just upheld it moments ago. That's another video I got to make. It just upheld it moments ago. Hang on a second. Let me listen to something here really quick. Give me a second here. Oh, I can't do that. Not there. Not on the computer because you'll hear it. Give me a second here. I just realized that if I play it on the computer, you'll hear it. So I got to play it on my phone. Give me a second here. Give me up 30 seconds. Hang tight. All right, folks, that was Mark Oppenheimer. Sorry, I just didn't want you to hear what was being said. Mark has agreed to come on the program to discuss the Kill the Boar case. He was the attorney that grilled Julius Malema in the docket, but we've been trying to have this conversation since that court case, and he couldn't come on air because it was still an open case with the appeal. Now the appeal has ended. He can now talk. So Mark Oppenheimer, we're looking to get him on the program later tonight, just waiting for him to respond back to this. I respond within 4 minutes, hopefully get there. So we might have another broadcast tonight. See, I can't take a break. I think Colonel will have to do our taxes. No, I'm not doing your taxes. Well, I don't know how to get nota beloy, and that's very. I don't really interview people like that. I listened to a voice note from TV Vessels which said the workers were not illegal, just the workers' permits had expired. That may be the case. But my point is that they're harassing farmers intentionally. Yep. So, but thank you for that. Yeah. So, yep. And even if they were illegal, there's illegals everywhere. Nice part about JoJo is the FU over not having electricity. Okay. Poppy Act. Yeah. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about, Charles. Yep. Okay. And Mark is a champ. He is indeed. I'm waiting to hear back from him. See what he says. No, it's not the bank calling. I made the call. Well, the courts are captured. Yep. Yep, they are capturing. Let's get real. We all know they stole 9% AD money. No, they didn't, Buck and Terry. The money doesn't go to them. Now, if they took it from the organizations, but we audit those organizations. We've been doing this for years. Yep. Okay. All right, 9 o'clock tonight, South Africa time. Okay, folks. All right. All right, folks, Mark Oppenheimer, 9 o'clock tonight. We'll be talking about the Constitutional Court decision that just happened. Wow. USA A-grade beef jerky tastes like poop. There's no such thing as USA A-grade beef jerky. You're just making that up, Neptune. You're making up your entire statement. No such thing. There's not a category like that whatsoever. Very little sleep. Are you running pure caffeine and smelling salts? No smelling salts, Nick, but very little sleep. How can a Constitutional Court uphold that? It's unbelievable. Why would I interview him? It would be pointless. Yeah, exactly, Charles. Bank overdraft. Did not know that a foreign farm worker issue was being experienced by anyone else. Was one of our key issues on my farm. Threats to us and actual violence toward legal, better skilled staff. Yeah, 9 o'clock tonight, Karen. Yep, 9 o'clock tonight. Yep. So my daughter is here eating all the Russians. Eating the Russians? What do you mean by that? Let me put a place mark on there for that. I was just busy on the phone with an old army buddy in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, Steve, that's interesting. All right, let me just go ahead and set. Well, no, I'll just set the stream up after this. I'm not going to mess with it now. Yep. All right. So it's something new, not old. What do you want by new? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Tomahawk? I just gave you 2 new stories today. I mean, what more do you want? What more do you want? I've produced 1, 2, 3 videos today, and I did a live stream at midnight, and here I'm doing a live stream again now. And I've got 2 more videos to produce, another live stream. But I've got a life. What more do you want new from me, man? What do you want new? A new struggle song. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Americans do know what Russians are. Oh, you're talking about the sausages. Well, did you have a Nürnberger? Do you know what a Nürnberger is? Who knows what a Nürnberger is? No, it wasn't the bank. It was Mark Oppenheimer. I want to get to him before everybody else tried to get to him, so I've got him on a promise for tonight. Looking forward to that. I won't be able to stream next week because with interviews because I'll be tied up in consulting for the next 2 weeks. Yep, no idea, says Hugo. A Nürnberger is a sausage. Little tiny white ones. Kielbasa is Polish. Ugh, they're gross. Yeah, you guys asked me about a Russian. You didn't give me context. You didn't say you're talking about food. New land grabs and pull it. Yeah, okay, Jan Jordan. Again, please watch my content. Covered already. Already covered. Did this last night. Stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning to make this video for y'all, and then nobody watches it. It's very frustrating. Only 11,000 views on this video, and this was breaking story before anyone else reported it. Yep, courtesy of one of my viewers telling me about it. EFF land grabs. Well, folks, there's nothing to see. There are no land confiscations. There is no land being confiscated in South Africa, so we've been told, despite evidence to the contrary produced by none other than South African Broadcasting Corporation early February in Seychelles. Notice the hour on the clock, 3:50 a.m. 3:50 a.m. Sheho in Polokwane in the north. And then subsequently saw also farm invasions taking place in the vicinity of East London, and then at Fort Jackson and in Northwest. The government taking no action to date that is at least publicized by the media. What's going on today? Well, here we go. The economic freedom fighters are beyond the pale now. Is this intentionally cheeky, or is this actually what it professes to be? We invite all the landless people residing in Ward 20, Polokwane, to join us as we will be practicing the first non-negotiable cardinal pillar of the economic freedom fighters. The land is ours, and we are nothing without the land. What exactly does this mean, folks? What exactly does this mean? It looks like, based on this image, that the EFF is inviting people out to claim land. Stake claim to land that they don't own. How can this even be legal? Covered, folks. I covered that story. 4 o'clock this morning, I published a video on it. Yep. And I've also published a video on the Northwest farmers being arrested. So, yep. I mean, I can't keep up with all the stories, but I do my best. All right, let's take a look very quickly here at the refugee admissions group and see if anybody needs to get in there. Members, okay. Oh, that's full. So the group 2 is full, but there's nobody waiting to get in, so everybody got in. And the other one has 59 waiting to get in, and it's also full, so nobody can get in. So again, you need to go to the Telegram group. Also, someone else put me in another group, and people are sending me messages about getting in there. I don't control this other group. I really wish people would quit putting me in these groups unless they contact me and ask me to be in it. Okay? Now, last night there was a conversation with one of the viewers about maybe creating a group for singles. I don't know if that's what the new group is, but anyway. It's your tone, but I guess detection of subtlety is reserved for the few. Yep. Wesley, so no land grabs happening here. No, there are none. There are none. Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing. I have it on good authority that Russians are no longer. Download that video to watch later tonight. Thanks for that. I've been too busy to keep. That's okay, Elmarie. Metamorph. 7 South African infantry. What about it, Michael? Hey, Russell Robinson. What's the word, man? Attack the farmer. No more KFC. Colonel, what candy is nice, you say, or that you like? A chocoholic. Well, I'm not a Reese's fan, although I have Reese's in the fridge. I eat Reese's. My favorite chocolate's actually German and Swiss. So I love Ritter Sport. I used to live 10 kilometers from the factory in Germany. It's below Stuttgart. It's in the mountains, the hills of Baden-Württemberg, the Ritter Sport factory. I didn't know that. I was going the back way to our post exchange one night in Wolfgang, and I'm like, whoa, that's the Ritter Sport factory. I never realized it was that close to where I live. It was right after I moved there. So my favorite is the Traubennuss. That's the raisins and the nuts. Even though I'm not a nut fan, it's the one chocolate I'll eat with nuts. The other chocolate I truly love is Toblerone. Oh, I love Toblerone. Like milk chocolate. Candy? Well, there's all kinds of candy in America. America is like this heaven center of candy, sweets. We make so much. I don't like Cadbury. Ugh, that's vile tasting chocolate. I don't like dark chocolate from Belgium. Ugh, I like milk chocolate. So yeah, there's all kinds of candy here. Depends what you want. You know, I love licorice, but I love the grape flavored licorice, that sort of thing, or apple flavored licorice. It's clear that you work extremely hard, and I admire that. What do you do for relaxation and take days off? Well, Johann Barkhuizen, I have not had a vacation since (2019) when I went to Rugby World Cup. Because every time I've gone somewhere after that, I'm always making content. I mean, I've had fun. You can call it a vacation if you want. When I went to Colorado, I worked. I got paid out there. I did work. But then on my off time, I went up into Pikes Peak, and I went into the museums, and I went to the Pueblo villages, and I went to the forest there. When I went to the World Cup, I enjoyed it, but I was also filming content. And when I went, so whenever I go somewhere, I'm filming content. So it's always work, but I enjoy the work. So yeah, but I love to travel. I love the mountains. I love to meet people, different cultures. I love to experiment with different things. No drugs. So that's what I like to do. Did I answer your question? What's up, singles? Was just for you, all the single cougars waiting for you. Oh, okay. Was it for me? In Gatlinburg, we visit the stores where they make the candy. Yeah, there's a candy shop in Frederick, Maryland. That's amazing. I like this hard stick candy. They got some tasty stuff there. Emery was crying. Horrifying image shared on WhatsApp. I know the light must be shown on farmers, but I haven't seen those images, Anne-Marie. I don't know which ones you're talking about. So you have Morris Humbugs. Huh? I don't know what that is, Jan Jordan. Lindt, I don't like Lindt. We have a Lindt chocolate factory here in Carlisle, but I don't like Lindt. Ugh. Going to make a nice stew. Nope, sorry, Nick, not going to happen. Listen to one of your videos today that you're well experienced on how you made the video and think what you say is amazing. May I please call you after stream? You've asked that already, Jan. I have to now set up another stream, so I'll ask you to hold off. Julie, 70 Rand, thank you for all your hard work. We appreciate the 70 Rand. Thank you. It's Chris Maurice here. Okay. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? You're welcome, Johan. 610 likes. Let's boost that. Some Hershey bar, and it tastes like baking chocolate. Yeah, Hershey's not my favorite. Hershey's right down the street from me. We've got Lindt in Carlisle. We've got Hershey in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Hershey has all kinds of candy. They own lots of things. They own Reese's Reese's. They own a lot of things, not just Hershey. They also own the that licorice that they sell. I'm not a big fan of it, but anyway, yeah. So big company. I own a handful of shares. I think I bought 5 shares of Hershey years ago, and the dividends reinvested, and I've got a few more shares in it now. But Hershey has tripled in price since I bought it. Pause your video for a phone call. Okay, Steve, no problem with that. ANC has opened up all the entry reports. The government is now arresting those, employing those without documents. Yeah, they're going after white folks. Stress is a killer. Well, no, some people live off of stress. I know people who are hard chargers, work their tail off, serve 20, 25 years in the military. They retire. They don't know what to do with themselves. They sit around, and 6 months later, they drop dead. True story. Several sergeants major in Germany went to funerals. I was on the color guard, and we carried the colors for the funeral. Drop dead, drop dead, drop dead. 6, 8, 10 months after they left the army because there was no stress. They were just sitting around doing nothing. Now I live off of stress. I love it. You support the Stormers, and I think Cadbury is vile. That's correct, Lizelle. I support the Stormers, and Cadbury is vile. It's disgusting. The only thing that Cadbury makes even remotely edible are those eggs they make. That's it. Horrible, man. Horrible stuff. Gosh. Oh, Ronaldo's trying to beat me, huh? Well, I'm talking about it. But I've got Mark Oppenheimer, the attorney, at 9 o'clock. I beat him. Ramona Schmidt, welcome to you. The licorice must be black. That's disgusting. That's real licorice. All this stuff is fake that's made now. You know, licorice is made from a plant, actual licorice, and black stuff tastes like tar. Ugh. Daniel says, from what age can young people start working when they come? Yeah, you're legally allowed to work in most states at the age of 16. On farms, you can legally work at 14 in many states. So in Ohio, you can drive a truck on the farm before the age of 16, but you can't leave the property until you're 16 and you have a license. Neptune, Hershey shares tanked last year, cocoa price and Ozempic. Oh, let me just take a look at that. Let me take a look. Okay. Hershey stock. $169. 6 months. 1 year. They did. Well, they didn't tank last year. They tanked this year. Hershey stock dropped to $145 on February 5th of this year. It went back to $185. I didn't see that. I wish I'd known that. It was $30 cheaper. Could have bought some shares. Yeah, it dropped to $145 on February 5th. I'm a long-term investor. I don't buy stuff and trade on whims. I buy solid companies. Went back to 186, and now it's down to 170. 170, that isn't tanked. It's been a little bit up and down. There's no tanking. The most it ever hit was 202 in September last year. Maybe that's what you mean. So from 202 to now, it's much lower. 202 to 145 would have been a big drop, and I could have bought some. So it's lost 24% in the past year, if that's what you're getting at, if you want to say it tanked. I suppose you could say that. That's fine. That's a buying opportunity. I don't mind buying more shares. Just got to have money. Don't think I have any right now. Nougat, that's okay. Definitely visit the Jack Daniels' story. That's got 2 shut down massive lightning happened. Okay. This channel is a family gathering night. You're welcome, Amanda. When I was a kid, I used to visit Bob, who worked at a Fusen Glade ice cream factory like Willy Wonka, Giant Ben's and Shaw. Oh, that sounds exciting. What's my favorite? Gravalotta. I don't know what Gravalotta is. Okay. Too much salt in many chocolates. Yeah, well, it's tasty. Mrs. V, displaying the outside fight will get you jail, but blatant hate speech is not hate speech. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I missed it. If I did, sorry. Is there a time frame to appoint a new ambassador? There's no time frame. We don't have to have an ambassador in the country. There's always at least a charge d'affaires, someone responsible for running the mission. So we don't have to have an ambassador in the country. It's just it's helpful to have one. So the time frame would be whenever the Senate gets off its ass and confirms Brent Bozell. To be fair to the Senate, they just started working on this. So it's a bit early to say to get off their ass. By the way, I'm about to surpass last year's March total for solar power. I think I had 793 kilowatt hours last year, 3/4 of a megawatt, and it's 763 now. So today's 27, I got 28, 29, 30, 31. 4 more days to get another 30 kilowatt hours. Well, that's going to be easy enough to do. It's kind of overcast today, but I'm up to 12 at this point, so that's not too bad. Right. Okay. What did I miss here? Your money receiver clock thingy is off. What do you mean money receiver clock? What is a money receiver clock, Martin? What is a money receiver? I don't know what a money receiver clock is. You talking about my green digital clock back there? Yeah, it's off. I'm not changing it. It keeps losing time. It's Chinese. What do you want? It's Chinese. That's there for proof. I have that clock there for proof. Also, it's handy for me. I don't have to look down here at the computer and see this tiny little number or guess what time it is or forget time. It's constantly there, so it constantly reminds me where I'm at time-wise. Yep. Okay. Future Life in South Africa. It's an affordable breakfast shake. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Will the Senate have bodyguards? You think he'll be safe here? Why will the Senate have bodyguards? There are Capitol Police to protect them in D.C. Will Brent Bozell be safe there? Yeah, why wouldn't he be? Of course he'll be safe there. We have diplomatic security. Plus, the South African government's responsible for providing security. Watch your thing last night or this morning at my time around 1 a.m. with your two co-hosts. It was funny. Never knew you did that. Why he's on X until 2 a.m. my time. Two co-hosts. SV Analyst, what are you talking about? What two co-hosts? I'm lost. Oh, you're talking about the radio. Oh, the radio. Oh, you're talking about the Common Sense Conservatives. I'm a radio host. Every Wednesday night, I appear on WSMN out in Nashua, New Hampshire. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Please go watch it at Real Chris Wyatt. I could use the views at Real Chris Wyatt. Yeah, I could really use the views on that channel. That's the original one. Mark Oppenheimer's on Renault. Are you serious? Oh, that's messed up. That's so messed up. That is so messed up. That is so messed up. Wow. 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 That explains where 100 people just went. Colonial, your news that you not willing to disclose. Remind us when you will be broadcasting on that info again. Belinda, what news? What are you talking about? I'm sorry, I'm very confused by what you're saying. Wow, what a douche! Oh my goodness! Wow, that's wow, wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Well, I thank you all for coming back at 9 o'clock, but wow, that's disappointing to say the least. Wow. So much for breaking that story. So much for breaking that story.
Circumstances in which the song is.
So much for breaking that story. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of my viewers who went over there for sure. They're in the chat. Wow. Wow. Fair to assume now that the farmer's arrested for illegal labor, now the farmer can be taken to give local people. No, that's not fair to assume, but that'll probably be the argument they just do. Oh, no, don't do that, Barbie. Don't unsubscribe. He's welcome to have it. I just wish Mark had told me that he was going to go Ronaldo. Then I wouldn't have jumped through to try to set something up. But now I'm committed to it. But I mean, if he was going to go Ronaldo, he should have told me that. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to chase things and duplicate effort here. So anyway, no, don't unsubscribe for Ronaldo. Please don't do that. His channel's fine, and he's entitled to his scoop. He's given me some scoops. I've given him some scoops. Yeah, but no, don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, no, it's just I jumped through a hoop here and put you on hold to reach out to Mark. I saw that when it came out immediately. I must have been one of the first people to see that story. It only had a few clicks on it. And so I reached out to Mark right away because Mark has been promising me this for a year and a half, and here it is. So I got about 2 hours sleep earlier, Peter. Yep. Anyway, no, I appreciate you guys want to come back. No, guys, relax. Let go. Let's not get wrapped up about that. My damn thing is locked up here. What's going on? YouTube tab crashed again. This is becoming a really annoying problem with YouTube. Their tabs crashing. They really need to address that. And it's not the browser. It's YouTube. because it doesn't matter which browser you use it in. People have it in other places too. All right, so yeah, so no, folks, don't do that. Don't abandon. Okay. Hear about the minister. What's her face regarding? Yeah, I know. I've got to do a video on that when I end SV. That's the thing I'm talking about here. I got to do a thing on that. So anyway, no. Don't unsubscribe to another channel. All right, so it's a big story, so people want to get it, and Mark's the right guy to get. So. All right, so, yep. I'm a member here. Well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Waiting for your live at 9. Cool. Audio is crap. Latest Afterform case against Malema simply got thrown out today, so it's simply getting ignored. What's this? So it's what? Simply getting ignored. Well, Ronell, I'll be covering that. I appreciate you guys coming back at 9. UTabs often crash. Charles, that's only been a recent thing for like 2 or 3 months. I don't know what's going on. Black Current says, you're so gracious and diplomatic, admire that. Well, thank you for that, Black Current. I appreciate that. Okay. Lee Friend Blingno, welcome back to you, the Hot Full Bikers. Okay. Request sent for WhatsApp group. To the WhatsApp group are full. But you're next in queue if you went to number 2 because there's no one waiting. I asked you a question, Chris. Why are we here? Because we love your content. You're awesome. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. I have not seen that, Jules. 35 Rand Super Chat. Thank you for that, Jules. I appreciate that. Where's my alert box? My alert box is off again. Attacking a shopkeeper, accusing him of not having a trading license. No, I haven't seen that, but I'm not surprised. Hey, Rohan. Lawrence. Yeah, I saw that 7 years ago, Stan. I saw that, yep. She claims she got banned from the country. I don't know if that's true. But I tried to interview her a few years back, and I got blown off. She got too big for her britches, and she got an agent. I mean, she had a channel smaller than mine, and she had an agent. You had to go through an agent to book her. So they just blew me off because I wasn't big enough. So whatever. People get too big for their britches. Anyway, you are the original, says Yaku. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you. Gordon says to be foolish to unsubscribe. Both the interviews will be unique. Indeed, Gordon. So, yep. But people have left. We went from 800 to 569. They all left and went over there. Anyway, hey Mariki, how's it going there? It's interesting, in my opinion, having your viewpoint from broad as well as Ronaldo's. Yeah, well, it's different views. In fact, I think a good example of that would be the response to Noto Boloye. Ronaldo had a very specific take, and I had a very specific take. They weren't identical. Yep. PK. What is the channel for personal messages? Eliza Hubbard. Are you talking about the WhatsApp group? The one that someone created, I think, last night? Is this thing called the Refugee Sponsor Group? Is that one you guys are talking about? It has 28 members in it. There's a dude in there. There's one dude in there. What's going on? I thought it was just for the ladies. No, there's another dude. All right, now I'm confused. Jan van Vollenhoven. Hey, Jan. Kick some behind with the interview at 9. Okay, we'll do that. We'll get it set up. Yeah, so I got to do a quick video on that and then set up the stream. Mark Davey. Well, 9 o'clock, I'll have Mark Oppenheimer on the program, the constitutional advocate who grilled Julius Malema during the Kill the Boer case, which was just thrown out by the Constitutional Court. Yep. Meeting with 3 mayors, okay. Starting Grahamstown, okay. Screenshots of the guy that called you. Yeah, please send them to me, Pedro. Please send them to me in email. Somebody post my email. I'll do that real quick if you guys aren't ready. There it is. There's the email. Please send me the email with, if you don't mind. Or WhatsApp is fine too. That's easier. So that I can, I want to see that the guy called me a terrorist. I'd like to see if there's a case I need to pursue in South Africa. Southern Development Community Military Preparedness Capability non-existent. Haven't forbid the Eastern influence. Yep, no, they aren't. I worked with SADC. I was in Habaroni. They were across the street from where I was at. Would rather watch you. Okay. What else you got here? When I call you later, then you'll have a scoop again. Okay. All right. Well, Jan, I've got to get those other things done first. Con de Bruyne. People, please understand Ronaldo will ask his questions, and when Colonel Chris has the interview, you're going to be different. Thank you for the 70 Rand. Wait, super chats just started come flying through there. Sune Voss, Chris, enjoying your videos the most. Checking your regular for new videos. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's your first super chat, 140 Rand. Woohoo! Where'd that come from? All right. I won't do the embassy before, but wrote again today and the guidelines to Americans, and I said it, Sam. All right. Okay, Liz. Well, but they say it's perfect, but I mean, I haven't talked to Sam. Where are they getting their information from? It's their view. They might be right. Found Stalingrad, 1993 original movie in Germany. Oh, yeah, that's a good movie. That's a really, really harsh movie to watch, Garrett. 35 Rand super sticker from Alma. Thank you for that. Okay, wow. Super chats just started falling out of the sky. Sir Blythe, hi. Sadly, we live in a country with double standards. Rules for me, not... Yeah, exactly. Everybody needs to spread as much as possible. Yep. All right, you guys going to see me at 9. That's cool. Major hanging a lot glitch today. Well, it's been going on for a few months. Oh, you can't get a super chat through. Sorry. Well, I'm really sorry that that's happening. More importantly, ask her about the Nota Blade. I think we done about the DA. Yeah. I didn't say Mark was on business. Okay. Per day and payday. Is it payday now? That's nice. I didn't know it's payday. It's 27th. I guess you guys are a little ahead. I'm broke, money tied up in purchase order, says Tom Hawk. Okay. Well, it's almost payday for me. I get paid on the last day or the first day of the month, so I'll get paid Monday or Tuesday. So, but it all goes to bills straight away. Oh yes, rocks. This is Nota Blade, man. Every time he opens his mouth, ANC guy joined the DA. Maybe he's an inside spy. SV analyst, that's what I surmised at the beginning. I said, what if he is? So that's another video I have to make. There's just not enough time to make all these videos. It's crazy. All very much appreciate what you do for us. Well, Daniel, thank you very kindly. I appreciate you all being here. Thanks for that. Hopefully, a bunch of you guys will be back for the 9 o'clock and watch it with Mark Oppenheimer. Yeah, so, yeah. Love your work. Thank you, Super Genius. I just realized what that was, genius. It didn't really strike me as genius before, so I got it now. Usually get paid from the 25th, and some at the end of the month. Government officials get paid halfway through the month. Who else is struggling with Super Chat? It's freaking hectic. Really? Other people are struggling. That's 2 people that haven't been able to do it. Kevin, thank you for your membership. How's the weather there? It looks sunny. It was cloudy. Misty there by you. Oh, you're talking to Hendo. Pay overdrafts, rates, tax a few groceries, and get hospital bills to deal with that. Oh, that's terrible. Well, my truck is in the shop today, and the differential needs to be dealt with. One of the outlets is blocked for the differential and needs to be replaced, so it's $400 to clean it, fix it, and fill the differential. Well, can't drive a 4-wheel drive truck with the differential locking up on me. That'll destroy the transmission. So that's $400. Plus, they want $1,000 just for the 90,000 mile service, which is due. I take care of my vehicles, so my bill is already, before taxes are thrown on it, sitting at $1,400. So if they find anything else, I expect it's going to cost me $2,000 today. So it's probably going to cost me 40,000 Rand to get my truck back, my 20-year-old truck. Yep, 40,000 Rand. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, heard of Professor G as an immigration attorney and gave his thoughts on the refugee status. He also come. Yeah, no, Wesley, that's Evan Gulupta from New Orleans. He's been doing a lot of videos recently, but I heard he's backing away. I don't know if that's true. I haven't talked to him. But just by doing mechanic work. Oh, yeah. Oh, SV Endless, yeah. It's 40,000 Rand. And most of that isn't parts. Most of that's labor. 40,000 Rand. And that's just my truck. The Toyota dealership has probably got 20 mechanics working on 20 vehicles during the day. And they probably get through about 40 or 60 vehicle service per day. Now, they don't all cost that much, but you can figure the average cost of one of those is going to be at least $500 for repairs or service or oil change, filter change. So $500 times 60, right? 500 times 10, would be 5,000 times 6. It's $30,000 a day in repairs. 5 days, $150,000 in billing per week. They also work on Saturday. That's $180,000 a week. $180,000 per week times 4. We're talking millions of dollars in repairs for one dealership here, and there are hundreds of dealerships. So you do the math. You do the math. Ayakonum. Okay, yeah, well, he's got a day job. He's a professor, so, I mean, it's kind of hard for him to do this. Those are real flowers. Those are tulips. They are real flowers. And they were purple tulips there when they died. They bloomed. They died. They were taller. They were all the way up to right about there, the other ones. This one just got there. For a couple of days, they were way down here, but now they've shot up. So there are 4 of them in there. That was $6. $6 for those at the grocery store. I had purple ones, which were beautiful. I love purple. The petals came out, fell off. I removed it. They're still alive. The plants are in my kitchen, but I replaced it with this one. So I just love tulips. Learn to fix your own car. Yeah, sure, Card. I'm going to spend 8 hours fixing the car. No, I think my day's worth more than that. Dusty Devils. I don't know this. Yeah, it comes with some KY jelly, yeah. Sandil Maharaj, 35 Rand. Super chat. Thank you for that, Sandil. Okay. Heinrich Ganeda, tulip farmer. Yeah, I guess I'm a farmer now. Don't put phone numbers in here, folks. Do not put your phone numbers. Reach out to each other through email or through a chat group. Do not put your phone numbers. I'll delete it. I'm not going to let your personal information be compromised. I know lots of people can do it cheaper, Christo, but I'm here with you all, so I can do it cheaper. 2,500 Rand damage for a pothole. Ooh, that's terrible. 2,500 Rand for an oil service. Yeah, that's a little pricey. Elizabeth Bezuidenhout said Ronaldo's not playing nicely. Not nicely. 140 Rand. Thank you for that. I missed that one. Sorry. Are you sure the clock was not made by some bee factory in South Africa? Mike for LMS Tactical. No, I haven't spoken to him. People asked me to talk to him. I watched him, and if it's the same guy, I was a little concerned about his content. Jan says, Chris sees something, but his mind is playing chess inside. He sees the story behind the story. Call experience. Amazing how he calculates and always spot on. Yeah, no, I mean, I try to. I try to get ahead. What happens when all the minorities are chased into the Kalahari? We make it an oasis and breadbasket. Well, you're going to be chased out. No, not if you form a military. Okay. Tomahawk says, F it. F what, Tomahawk? What are you upset about? Another super chat. Okay, my chat's hanging up here. Okay, I got that. Why are there so many people going to the Isle of Man? It's a tax haven. I've been to the Isle of Man. It's all right, but it's nothing special. It's okay. Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, she's all over the place. She's an idiot. Yes, nobody. 1, 2, 3, 4. I saw what Malema said. Thank you, Douglas Williams, for becoming a member. Okay, my chat is locked up. I can't see it. It's a Candace. Okay, the Candace has to reach out to me and ask for it, and then I'll do that. I'm sorry, I missed a member there. Sorry. Yeah, my chat's locked up over here. I can't do anything. There's so much of it. Thank you, Emil. If somebody give out memberships, that's what's happening. Okay. There it goes. Now it's moving. Kevin gave out 5 memberships. Thank you for that. Okay. All right, so we got 727 likes, 553 people. Can you all hit the like button, okay? Appreciate it. Show us your grass what? Did you see the incident with the community who stoned a suspected hijacker death in front of the SAPs and tried to murder the other one? No, I didn't. Wow. Okay, Big Mac. Okay. Yes, the Bee Gees were from the Isle of Man. That's correct. Please do poll on how many people here gets in trouble watching with either wife or husband. That's a good one, Jan, but I'm not going to do that right now. Remind me of another time. Most famous beer in America, probably Budweiser. Yep. I don't own any classic cars, although my Toyota 4Runner, which is in the shop, is from 2004, so it's approaching classic level. It's almost an antique. 25 years makes you an antique, so that's 21 years. So, and my Chrysler is 10 years old. So yeah, I don't own classic cars. No, I don't have time for that sort of thing. It's a big commitment, and you know, having collections of things is difficult when you're in the military and you move 26 times in 36 years to 4 different continents. It's difficult to have things and keep them. Yep. Massey Ferguson. Ooh, I love Massey Ferguson tractors. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up here, okay? I'm going to get ready. I've got to set up the stream for Mark Oppenheimer, then record a video about that news breaking, edit it, load it up, get a shower, come back here, 9 o'clock right here. Mark Oppenheimer will be back. We'll be discussing the Kill the Boer case. And thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button before you leave. Thank you all for the super chats, for the new members, the gift of memberships. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys back here shortly. Look for my prepared videos and look for it to come back. In the meantime, I'm going to do you all a favor here, and I'm going to route you over to where's it at there? Where's it at? Hang on a second here. Is he done? No, I'm going to route you over to Ronaldo Jos. Thanks for watching, and enjoy what's left over there. Cheers.